Hello everyone. Thank you for attending today's webinar. My name is Dennis Peng and I am a product manager at Ooma. I'm here today to talk to you about Ooma Meetings. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone that you can ask questions using the Q&A chat panel, and we will get to your questions at the end of the presentation. Ooma Meetings is a video conferencing service that will boost collaboration at your business. When you cannot meet face-to-face, video conferencing is the next best thing for facilitating communications in real time. Use Ooma Meetings to connect with your team and meet with your customers, vendors, and partners. Ooma Meetings offers a variety of options for guests to join a meeting, including being able to join from right within a browser window with a single click. Host up to 25 participants in full HD audio, video, and screen sharing capabilities. Ooma Meetings makes hosting an online meeting quick and easy and offers a full set of meeting security and host controls, so you can focus on getting down to business and run your meetings efficiently. The new Ooma Meetings feature is included in our Office Pro tier service. Office Pro includes all the features in Ooma Office, but also includes a number of enhanced features for power users. Some of the extra features included in Office Pro include call recording, voicemail transcriptions, and enhanced call blocking. Office Pro also includes access to the Ooma Office desktop app, which allows you to make and receive phone calls, check voicemail and call logs, and to send and receive text messages all directly from your computer. Ooma Meetings is built into the desktop app as a module, so you will have one place to make a phone call, respond to a text, or start up a meeting. Here are some of the key features of Ooma Meetings. First, supports HD video and audio quality. It also supports simultaneous screen sharing, which means that more than one participant can be sharing their screen at the same time. This is great for collaboration, and you can easily switch between the different screen share views. There are two different views for video. One is active speaker, where you see the main person who's talking on your screen, or gallery view, where you can see everyone who is in the meeting in one big dashboard. There is a chat function that allows everyone in the meeting to talk to each other via chat, and you can also send direct messages to one participant only. As the host, you'll have special moderator controls that allow you to run your meeting, including muting people and also kicking out participants who shouldn't be there. For guests who want to join, they have a number of options. One is that they can join via their browser, which is a great convenience because there's no application or software to install. They simply click a link and they'll be into the meeting. Major browsers are supported, such as Microsoft Edge, Apple Safari browser, as well as Google Chrome. There's also a desktop app that can be installed for Mac and Windows for an even more streamlined experience. For those who are not on their computer, they can dial into their meeting from their mobile phone or desk phone. Finally, meetings are secured using a password and a dial-in passcode for those who are on a phone. And you can also set up the meeting so that it is required that the host be present before anyone can connect. It's easy to enable Ooma Meetings. Log into Ooma Office Manager as the admin. Go to the System Settings page, click on the Meetings tab on the left, and then check the box to enable Ooma Meetings for your account. Once you've saved your changes, everyone on your team will have access to Ooma Meetings within the desktop application. If you don't have it already, download the desktop app and log in, and you will have access to Ooma Meetings along with all the other features of the desktop app, including making and receiving phone calls, checking your voicemail, and sending and receiving text messages on your extension. For participants, they don't need the desktop app. They'll just get a meeting link from you, and click the link to join within their browser. Super simple. This is a view of Ooma Meetings within the desktop application. You have everything that you need to manage your meetings here on the screen. You can schedule a new meeting, join an existing meeting, or jump into an ad hoc meeting. All the meetings that you are the host of are listed here on this page, and you can join those at any time, as well as make edits to them, view the invitation information, and copy them to your clipboard so that they can be sent to the participants. When you schedule a meeting, you can schedule a one-time meeting which occurs at a certain date and time, or you can schedule a recurring meeting which might happen at any time. Each meeting that you schedule has different options for security. You can set a password to make sure that people cannot randomly drop into your meeting, and you can also require that you be present before the meeting starts. This is what the joining experience looks like for a guest. When they receive a meeting invitation in email or in their calendar, there will be a meeting link. When they click that link, their browser will take them to this page with the meeting ID filled in, and the participant will be able to adjust their display name, which is how they will show up in the meeting, adjust their mic and camera preferences, and then they will join the meeting. If the meeting requires the host to join and the host has not started the meeting yet, then guests will be held in the screen waiting for the host. The host will be notified via email indicating that they have participants waiting, and once the host joins the meeting, then all the participants will be put into the meeting automatically. Once joined into the meeting, everyone will see standard controls at the bottom left corner of the screen. There, you will find buttons to mute and unmute your microphone, turn your camera on and off, and a button to open the chat box, where you can send and receive chat messages to all other participants in the meeting. The audio and video buttons also allow you to select your microphone and speaker sources, and to select between different cameras if you have more than one. In this screenshot, you are seeing the active speaker view, where the most recent person to talk is shown as the primary person on the screen. Other people in the meeting are shown on the right-hand side in a smaller thumbnail format, and you can scroll through them or hide them altogether. If you want to focus your video on one of the participants in particular, you can pin them on your screen by selecting their thumbnail. Click the thumbnail one more time to unselect them and go back to active speaker view. On the bottom right part of the toolbar, you'll see an ellipsis that allows you to open up a menu where you can access some additional actions. There is a helpful shortcut guide that gives you keyboard shortcuts to commonly used functions such as muting and unmuting your microphone. There are links to download the applications, the desktop application that streamlines the joining experience for guests. And you can also click into our support article, which describes all of the features and functions that are available within the meeting. If you are the host of the meeting, you will see an additional option here, which is to mute everyone on the call. This is helpful when you are presenting and want to eliminate some noise in the background. In the middle of the toolbar, you'll see a big green button called Screen Share. Click that to start sharing your screen. Depending on how you are joined into the meeting, you'll see slightly different options here, but usually you will have the option to either share your entire desktop, select application windows. For example, you could share an Excel application window, or if you're joining from a browser, you may have the option to share a specific tab in the browser. Simply scroll through the screens that you see. You'll see little previews of each screen that are allowed to be shared. Select one and click the Share button. At that point, everyone in the meeting will see your screen. Once someone has started their screen share, everyone's video feed will focus on that screen share. Individual video feeds and thumbnails are still accessible on the right-hand side in the thumbnails, and you can click on one of the thumbnails to enlarge, but you can switch back to the screen share at any point in time by clicking on the participant tile again. Now, one of the really cool features of Ooma Meetings is that multiple people can be sharing their screen at the same time, and you simply click on the thumbnail of each participant to switch between the different shares. This is really wonderful for collaboration, as it means that you don't have to wait for someone to stop their share and to start sharing with another participant. You can easily switch between the two, which streamlines the flow of communication and the collaboration on the call. One thing to note when you are sharing your screen is that you need to make sure that the application has the permission to record the screen, which is how the screen sharing function occurs. So in different operating systems, the exact flow could be slightly different, but this is an example of what it looks like on a Mac computer. When you decide to share your screen, the computer will pop open a message box that asks you to grant the permissions to record the screen. You do need to allow this permission specifically for the application in order for the screen sharing to work correctly. If you deny the permissions, then the screen sharing will not work. Here's one example where it's helpful to have the Ooma Meetings desktop app installed. If you are going to be sharing your screen frequently with Ooma Meetings, we suggest that you either use the Ooma Office desktop app or the Ooma Meetings desktop app and use that to join the meeting. Those permissions will automatically be granted when you install the application, meaning that you will have a smoother experience when sharing your screen. Here's an example of simultaneous screen sharing. This particular screenshot was taken with two participants in a meeting. And you can see that the screen shares can show up side by side. Being able to have two or more people sharing their screen at the same time saves a lot of time, since one person doesn't have to stop their screen share in order for the next person to start. This avoids the interruption and downtime usually associated with switching presenters and other video conferencing solutions, and allows you to stay focused on the topic at hand and accelerate the collaboration process. Jumping back into the Meetings module within the Ooma Office desktop app, you'll see the three main actions at the top of the page. Those are scheduling a meeting, joining a meeting, or jumping into an ad hoc meeting. Below that, you'll see the My Meetings section, which lists your personal meeting, where the meeting ID is always static. You'll also see a list of all the meetings that you have scheduled or created, and those could be recurring meetings or one-time meetings, in which case you'll also see the date and time that that meeting is scheduled for. Below that section, you'll see a list of all your recent meetings that you have joined, which allows you to easily hop back into a meeting, any meeting that you've joined in the last 2 weeks. You'll also find a search bar on the middle of the page on the right-hand side. Enter any text here to easily search through and find the meeting that you are looking for. This view is designed to easily allow you to track the meetings that you have scheduled, as well as join a meeting that you might previously have been in. If you have an upcoming meeting that's starting within the next 30 minutes, you'll see it highlighted here in the page. It will be highlighted with the orange background and to alert you that this meeting is starting very soon, and you'll see big buttons that allow you to join the meeting and start it for your participants. If you want to make edits to your meetings, you can click the little orange button in the top right-hand corner of each of the meeting tiles, where you can access additional actions such as editing the meeting, deleting the meeting, or viewing the meeting invitation so that you can copy and paste that into your emails or calendar invitations. At the very top of the screen in the quick action bar, Ooma Meetings is listed there as well. And here you can also join a meeting and jump into an ad hoc meeting very easily from a different part of the screen. As the meeting host, you'll have access to a few extra options that other participants don't see. First of all, you can mute a participant. Let's say they have some background audio. Then you can mute them so that they don't disturb other people in the meeting. You can also mute everyone except for one of the participants. And this is really good if they need to do a presentation and you want to silence any background noise from any other participants. You can also transfer ownership of the host privilege. So if you're the meeting host and you need to leave the meeting but want to designate one of the other participants as the new host, you can make that transfer using the make host function. And then finally, if you have someone who shouldn't be in the meeting, you can kick them out. Everyone has access to the option to send a private message. So when you click on the chat button in the lower left-hand corner of the screen next to the audio and video buttons, this sends a public message to everyone in the meeting. A private message is sent only to that participant and can be used to, for example, tell them that maybe their microphone is not turned on or that they need to go on mute. And finally, if you don't want to put them on mute but want to lower their volume, you can do so using the volume slider bar. As always, we are here to support you and your business in using Ooma Office. We are available 24/7 on customer support. And if you have any questions about Ooma Meetings, we're happy to help you out. So that wraps up the presentation for today. I do see some questions coming in through the chat room, so maybe I will answer some of those questions. Number one, how is Ooma Meetings different from other video conferencing solutions? Well, Ooma Meetings, first of all, is bundled with Ooma Office Pro. So if you have subscribed to our Office Pro tier, Ooma Meetings is bundled in and there's no extra cost to it. Number two, Ooma Meetings allows people to join directly from their browser. So this is great for guests who don't frequently attend one of your meetings. You can use this with customers or your partners or vendors. They simply get a link in their calendar invite and they click and join within their browser. So it's super convenient for them to hop into a meeting with you. The last thing I'll mention is that Ooma Meetings supports simultaneous screen share, which means that it's great for collaboration, allowing a number of people to share their screen at the same time will facilitate conversations and collaboration in ways you haven't seen before. Next question, what is an ad hoc meeting? So I did refer to an ad hoc meeting, and what an ad hoc meeting is when you might be emailing or conversing with someone else using a different channel, such as texting or maybe Slack, but you decide that it would be better if you were able to do a screen share, a real-time screen share, or just talk directly. You can start an ad hoc meeting, and when you use the Meet Now button on inside the Ooma Office desktop app, this automatically creates a meeting and joins you into that meeting immediately. So it's a very fast way to jump into a meeting, and once you're inside the meeting, you'll have access to the meeting URL and meeting invite content, you can copy and paste that into your email or into Slack, send it to the other party, and it allows you to have to coordinate a meeting in a very quick fashion. Question number 3, how much does Ooma Meetings cost? Well, Ooma Meetings doesn't have an extra cost associated with it. It is bundled as part of our Ooma Office Pro tier. Ooma Office Pro includes other features such as call recording, voicemail transcriptions, and enhanced call blocking, as well as a number of other things. But Ooma Meetings is the latest addition to Ooma Office Pro. So Ooma Office Pro costs $25 per month per user in the US and $30 per month per user in Canada. You can upgrade online inside Ooma Office Manager if you don't have Pro yet, or you can give our customer support team a call and they'll be happy to help you with your upgrade. Number 4, can anyone join an Ooma meeting? So yes, anyone can join an Ooma meeting. So a guest does not have to be an Ooma Office user. They can be anybody as long as they have the meeting URL that you sent them and the meeting invitation content, then they will be able to join your meeting. Next question. Can people dial into can people who are dialing into a meeting do so when there is a password set? So the answer is yes. Even if you set a password on a meeting, your participants can join from dialing in. And what happens is that once your password is set, there is a dial-in passcode that is also set on the meeting. And when you copy your meeting invitation over and send it to your participants, one of the line items will be a dial-in passcode. And the other nice thing about what we do is that there are one-click links inside the meeting invitation. So when a user sees the invitation in their mobile phone, they'll see a phone number with a bunch of numbers after it that they can click on. And if they click on that link, they'll be able to join the meeting, and it will automatically enter the meeting ID as well as the meeting passcode if there is one set. So they really don't have to do anything extra as long as they click that meeting dial-in number. All right. Next question, what is the difference between a one-time meeting and a recurring meeting? So a one-time meeting is scheduled for a specific date and time, and it can only take place during that time, and the date and time is stated in the meeting invitation. And the idea is that that meeting will happen once and not happen again. A recurring meeting will stay on your calendar, and this is usually used for meetings that might occur once a week or once a month. And when you create a recurring meeting, that meeting invitation, that meeting ID will be created and will last until you delete the meeting. So you'll be able to use that meeting ID basically anytime and anywhere for that particular meeting topic. That's all the time that we have for questions today. Thank you again for attending our webinar about Ooma Meetings.